Hello, and welcome back to City Skylines. My name is Sparky. The last time we sort of tidied up our initial starting area, added in some parks, prepped a wee bit of infrastructure, and I think it's mostly finished now. I'm just giving you a wee sort of aerial tour right now. I think we're going to start a new project today. But yeah, I think we're going to start it's really an old town centre. Yeah, I think I'm going to build it across the water here. I'm just going to have a quick look at, the terrain height. Because it's a town centre, I kind of just want a flat area where I don't need to do much terraforming. It's not going to be a huge area. It's as I say, it's more of an old style town centre, so I don't really need like a huge area. I was thinking about this spot over here. But I don't think it makes much sense for an old town centre because, like older areas of cities, well, especially in the UK, they tend to be close to or right at the water. So, as I say, I was looking for spots around the map where I thought maybe I could possibly put it, but I think it makes sense for it to be just over the water here, and then there's plenty of space where the city could have expanded from this older town centre area. So I think I'm just going to go for this sort of area here, and just flatten out a wee area. There's a wee mound here, but so I don't mind getting rid of it, and I just want to flatten out a wee area, and we can start our build. Yeah, so just flatten out an area. I planned this one out a wee bit better, so I kind of know what size of square I'm needing, and I just randomly built where I want the sort of start of it to be, and then we'll join it up to the rest of our city once it's built. But as I say, I've got a plan in mind, so it was easier to build. It was a lot faster to build because I planned it. I planned it beforehand this time. I thought I'd just time lapse it because it can be a bit boring just watching me just placing down stuff and whatnot. And yeah, so the idea I'm going for is sort of like an older government sort of council area where there's like a square and you've got your older style buildings on either side of the square, and we build around that in terms of it's still an important part of the city, but it's no longer the actual town centre. The town centre spread to more modern parts of the city, whereas this is the plan is anyway to have this as a like an older part of the town. It's still relevant and still obviously very important, but it's in terms of the general public, they don't spend much time here. It's more of a if you work here, you spend a lot of time here, and it's a bit of a tourist spot because it's an older style area. So I'm just building up my grid here. Yeah, I kind of wanted a sort of semicircle for the sort of main attraction of the town square, or the old main attraction, and that was the cathedral. I kind of wanted it to be like a semicircle surrounding it, like it used to be an important place to go. Whereas as times went on, it's just a more of a tourist attraction more than it's an actual functioning cathedral. So as I say, I was just playing it, plonking down my four assets, and I just thought I would D-tree a wee bit just so it was easier for me to use my grid and stuff. So I did a wee bit of D-treeing, and yeah, I was, as I said, even though I planned it out, it's still a bit of a wonky build to sort of try and make. It's got a wee bit of you kind of have to tinker with the vanilla assets, the vanilla features of the game. I mean, if you had any mods, it's a lot easier to probably build this. As I say, I kind of wanted a sort of open grass area at the back of the cathedral, like it was a really important place to be back in the day. So this is our sort of basic town square. Obviously it needs a lot of jazzing up, but this was the basic square. So I'm going to have obviously partially, pedestrianised, or the square itself is going to be pedestrianised, but the surrounding areas are not going to be pedestrianised. It's just going to be, local roads. So I wanted sort of a curved, like almost like as a circle. But yeah, it's kind of funny to call it a town square considering it's a big ring around the whole area. So yeah, all that's pedestrianised. I'm taking out the majority of the roads. I want a single road to come through that sort of the ring, just so that and I might eventually put a tram line through it, just so it's a bit suits the older style. But we'll see about that. But yeah, this was that's the basic grid right there. The whole circle is pedestrianised, and you've got the one single road that goes through it. Like I might do it. Maybe a good place for a sightseeing tour. That's not a feature I usually use a lot in my builds. The sightseeing tour, but yeah. And then I thought it'd be good to try and mix in the park fences, because I quite like them. It's just they're obviously a bit footery to use, at times. So I wanted to have it look like it was fenced off, but I also wanted like the gates. I wanted the gates to make it look a bit more, I don't know, historical and important about it. But as I say, that is a bit footery, and you look at all those grid lines there, or guidelines. It's not an easy build. Trying to you've got so many of these grid lines. I mean, as I said before, if you've got mods, this is probably far more easier to build than what I had to do to build it on my end. But thankfully I'd planned it out, so I kind of knew what I was doing. It was just a case of being patient with it and making sure I did what I wanted. So as you can tell, that's a bit wonky. I eventually fixed it. I didn't realise right away it was kind of off centre from where I was wanting it. As I say, if you had moved it, you could move it into an easier position that's right on, that sort of junction. But we're kind of plain vanilla, so you kind of have to accept a wee bit of imperfection here or there, and just hope it turns out better when you sort of finally get it finished. So I thought it'd be good to sort of have like circles. Obviously this is a sort of the back entrance, so I wanted something a wee bit different. But I thought it'd be a good idea to have like circles, just to sort of break up, just not so it's not just straight past. And as I say, a wee bit more prestigiousness about the area. And obviously at the end here we're doing a sort of semicircle, because we've got the two fences, the two gates at the back. But as I say, it's a bit footery, and it did take, obviously I'm speeding this up as a time lapse just so I'm not boring you, but it was quite footery at times to try to get the fences in the right place, or the paths in the right place. But yeah, I thought it'd be a good idea to sort of have circles, and then in the middle of the circles we could put like a tree and stuff, and then it breaks up the monotony, and it's not just straight lines, and there's a wee bit something other than a bit something about them. So as I say, they were a bit of a pain in the neck to try and build, but once they were built, I thought they looked quite good. They just obviously took a bit of time. I mean, for as long as this build took and the planning took, I think it took far longer to build these circles than it did for the rest of the half the rest of the build. But yeah, I wanted to have another path that sort of went round the side of the cathedral, and obviously at the end here it was being a bit footery. The vanilla game is it's not the best at times when it comes to certain features and putting paths in, it isn't the best either. And here it's that you can actually connect the path to the side of the cathedral. It's a lot easier if you're using, just a bog standard path. And then when you upgrade it, it kind of looks okay, but as I say, you kind of have to work within the confines of the game sometimes, and I don't think it looks that great with the park path, so I left it as, the standard path. Well, I went back and forth, as you can see. I think I went in the end for the standard path. I can't actually remember, but I wanted a semicircle at the back here as well to fit in with our theme. There's a lot of footing about and jiggling about with these paths. It looks quite good that the ordinary path links up, but the park path just doesn't go. So I left it looks a wee bit annoying because of the junction of the paths sort of create this sort of weird concrete shape, but as you can see, I've put this circle and it's a bit footery, so I ended up trying to do it again, and this took honestly way too long. Yeah, so I just moved the park gate over one block. It's, as I say, if I was using mods, it could have been a lot easier for me, but as I say, I want to try and just play vanilla. And you just have to try and get used to the vanilla as best you can. And the same as here, I moved this over one block, so it's more of it's meeting up in this sort of semicircle here. So it's not quite perfect, as you can see. It's slightly off, but I can live with a wee bit of imperfection. I'm a perfectionist, but I'm not that much of a perfectionist, but I need it to be, especially vanilla in this game. It's you can't let you just can't let a little bit of imperfection get to you, because it's just the way the game is. You're never going to get it perfect. Even when you use mods, I've seen sometimes mods getting used and it still doesn't look absolutely perfect. So there we have it. It took ages. This took way too long compared to the rest of it, but we have our 6 circles and semicircle at the back, and I think it looks quite good. I'm just going to fence it off now. I'm fencing it off now, and as you can see, I am terrible at using the curved road tool. I might have a wee counter in the corner here to see how many times it takes me to get it right, because one of these took me bloody ages. But yeah, this was the longest part of the build, was getting this fence and the path around this cathedral. Hopefully in a minute when you see the final product you'll think, oh, that's actually kind of worth it. But you can see I lost my patience with the curved road tool and just thought I'd do the straight bits first and then take a wee breather because it was annoying me. Yeah, that took far. It's not even perfect, that fence, but I just thought it was just getting on my nerves, so I thought let's just get it in. And then I'm just tidying up, getting rid of the rest of the trees. So I'm just finishing off the rest of the fence here. And voila. I was going to put a wee fence in there, but I thought, oh, given it's a front, I can leave that a wee bit. But I thought it looked quite neat. Yeah, obviously it needed some landscaping, but I thought it looked quite neat. So yeah, I thought it'd be good to have park fences round government buildings as well. I think one of them is a City Hall building and one's a sort of government office, and I think the other one's Amsterdam Palace, but we'll just pretend it's another sort of government building.
And yeah, I thought it'd be good to have sort of wee path areas round. I can see at the back here, it's a bit footery again with the grid lines and stuff, but it kind of looks good when it's connected. And yeah, it's a kind of, that's another one that just looks better when it's the concrete rather than actual path. So I kind of wanted the path to come down the right, the side of the buildings. And again, once we fence this off, I think it looks quite neat. This one was a lot easier because at the back there's it basically lines up with the back of the thing, and it just looks as if it, you come out the back door and you're on the path. So there wasn't a lot of footing about with that one, thankfully. You can see I'm just doing a wee bit of fencing as I go, the easier bits. We can fix the harder bits later on. So at the back of this building, as you can see, it kind of meets up, but it doesn't look that great. So you kind of have to go in manually and move it a wee bit closer to the building. And then once you upgrade it, it looks a wee bit better. It's not perfect, but I can live with the imperfections there. It looks as if it joins the back of the building, which is the main thing. So we're just finishing off our fencing and of these buildings here. As I say, I want to make them feel like they're quite official buildings. So I kind of want to have the fence going all the way around. And as you can see there, thankfully this bit wasn't too torturous to sort of fence compared to the cathedral bits. But I do think it does look quite neat once it's all in place. It's just obviously very time consuming and a bit footery to get done. But I think that's where cities come alive in this game, is when you put the detail in. I think it does make a big difference. So now I need to build a sort of, the pedestrian area around the middle. I don't really want any of the side streets to be pedestrianised, just the sort of central square or circle, I suppose, in this case. We obviously need a road as well, so that we're maintenance building, or whatever it's called, I forget the name of it, the service building can get to it as well. So we've got that wee corner there for our service building. I think we'll probably only need one. I doubt we'll need another one. But yeah, just a wee bit of trees around the side, so we're just starting more, obviously we're just doing more landscaping. It's my favourite hobby, is placing trees in these games. Placing trees and placing fencing, farting about with the farting about with fences. So yeah, I thought it'd be good to have oaks round the back of the buildings, sort of make them a wee bit more private. At the back anyway. The backs don't need to be, they don't need to be viewed by the public. And then I'm just upgrading the pedestrian paths. I put bluestone in at the beginning, but I think the cobblestone suits better. So yeah, the bluestone is quite nice, but I just think the cobblestone feel, considering it's an older style area and older buildings, I thought the cobblestone would look a bit better. And then obviously I'm changing the trees as well, because the bog standard tree that comes on the paths, I don't think they look that great. So we put lindens in the middle, and on the outside I think we put I can't remember what they're called, the sugar trees or maple trees, or I can't remember. And in the middle, just one of the newer flower plazas that you get with the pedestrian DLC. I think it looks quite nice. It's not too jarring and it's not too over the top, I don't think. And yeah, that's the sort of government square complete now, so it's just a matter of doing a wee bit of more landscaping on the cemetery, and then we can start zoning some of the areas around it. So as I said earlier on, I wanted to put a tree in the middle of these circles. I think that looks quite neat. And it's quite a big tree as well, and it's not too tall. I don't want to block the view of the, I don't want to block a view of the cathedral after making this big sort of viewing area, if you will. And I couldn't decide on what tree to go around the outside again, so I think I just went with the oak as usual. But I didn't want to have a kind of dense row. I spread out the trees quite a bit, just so you can see the cathedral. If you're living in the flats that we're about to zone on the outside, you don't want your view blocked of this big beautiful cathedral on your door. So I'm just upgrading the paths as well. I mean, I upgraded them all to begin with, but I think it was a wee bit over the top. I don't think it needed that much zoning. That's just me just changing it to the cherry blossom, as I call them, trees. Yeah, I thought it was a wee bit too busy, so I thought I'd de-zone some of just being ordinary paths at some areas, just because of the circle areas, and I just thought that made it look a wee bit better. I don't think we needed too much. And I just thought, because we had a tree in the middle of the circle areas anyway, so to have trees around that as well, I just felt it was a bit overkill. Yeah, so I was quite happy with that. As I said, it's now, I kind of want to have zoned housing at the back of the cathedral, and closer to the government buildings I kind of want to have more offices. So I stuck in a main road. I mean, to be honest, this main road might be temporary. I just kind of wanted to finish this episode off and connect it to the highway, and we might revisit the actual main road at a later date, because I didn't really know how long this, because when I was recording it was obviously a lot longer, but as a time lapse sped up it's a bit shorter. But so I just kind of, when I was building, I just kind of wanted at this stage to sort of get it functioning, and then maybe we can revisit the actual, the main road at another point. But I'm just putting in a quick junction here. Obviously I kind of want to just slope the road in easily, so we're not in a, driving off a cliff. And then just join it up with work grid. As I say, I might keep this road, I might amend it slightly. As I said, I mainly just wanted to get it functioning before the end of the video, and then in the next episode, when we're expanding out from here, we can maybe have a look at what we're going to do. So that doesn't look great, but as I said, that junction might be partly temporary, might be just I can fix it at a later date. There's no problem, But I want to have some shops over here, so line of shops on the road, and at the back here, as I said, I kind of want to have mostly housing at the back here, and then closer to the government buildings, have offices. I mean, we might replace some of the offices with houses eventually. It depends once it's zoned and how it looks, I might revisit that. But in my head, it makes more sense to have housing at the back of the cathedral and closer to the sort of main government area to have offices. But just sticking in the water pipes now. So as I said, this took quite a while to put together. I'm obviously sped up in a time lapse, and so by the time I got to this stage, I was getting a bit tired, and I just wanted to get it functioning. So that's why I'm just sort of rushing the end when I'm putting in a temporary highway / main road, just getting the water lines down, the pipelines down, and then get the power connected up, and then we can zone it and we can take it from there. So yeah, you're about to see the laziest power line in history. Just go right across the river. I mean, the height of realism there. we'll obviously fix that and get a proper power over here eventually. But for now, as I said, I wanted to get it functioning, and at a later date we can tidy it up a wee bit more. So I just wanted to quickly, before we started simulating, just upgrade these roads. As I said, the road through the circle, I think eventually I might put a tram line there, but I think I maybe have zoned a tram line in a minute here, but yeah, so I'm just upgrading the trees. So I don't really like the basic trees, to be honest. And yeah, as I said, I zoned, I put the tram line in for now just to see how it looked, but obviously we've got no tram going. I don't think it looks that bad, the tram line. I'm still undecided. Maybe a bus lane, I don't know. So we'll start simulating here. Obviously there's a lot of issues. I'm about to put the world's worst pipeline in as well. So I did put a new water pumping station over here, but then I forgot about the sewage. So yeah, you're about to see the world's worst pipeline as well. But it started the zoning. It looked, it looks not bad. Yeah, world's worst pipeline. So as it's zoning, it looks a bit weird because it's sort of an isolated, old town square, and there's nothing around the edges. But I think once we build onto this, it'll look quite good in the long run. But obviously it looks incomplete at the moment. But the zoning around the back of the cathedral I quite like. And the square looks really neat and tidy as well. It just needs obviously more added onto it. So there ended up being some parking on that sort of tram street, and obviously I don't really want parking on that street. I really wanted the traffic to be just sort of moving, so obviously I changed it to a 2-lane road for now. I'm saying I might put a bus route there, a sightseeing tour or something, but yeah, I see when it started the filling it kind of looks quite good. Obviously it looks a bit bare because there's nothing round about it, but I think once we've built onto this, and the land, it'll look quite good in the long run. And I thought it was quite funny when I said I was going to build a town square, and it's ended up just being a big circle. I don't know if that's a thing in real life, a town circle, an old town circle, but I guess we've made history here if there's not such a thing. So as I said, I wanted to get my population to 16,000, so I ended up expanding the grid slightly to, to our right here, or to our left, whatever, to the side, to the side of the, the area. I just wanted to plonk some more housing down. I mean, to be honest, some of this might be temporary, but I do want to reach 16,000 before we end, and so I've got something I can start from in the next episode. And boom, 16,000.
yeah, we're obviously going to end the episode here. We've unlocked the second university, the Liberal Arts College. I might start the next time. I don't know. But it was just good to unlock it before we go. We also unlock, the crematorium, and the advanced inland water treatment plant, which is quite good, and the large water tower, which might come in handy as well. And then obviously a number of train stations and metros. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it here. I hope you like this episode. Obviously, like and subscribe if you did, and yeah, like and subscribe if you like this build, and if you like this episode, and if you want to see where the city goes. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.